Welcome you to another deep dive. Today we're taking a fascinating plunge into a narrative that's less about, traditional plot points. It's more about the intricate, often really messy dynamics of human relationships.
Precisely. Our source material for this deep dive is an excerpt from a story, and it's just rich with dialogue, with interaction. Our mission today really is to extract the emotional complexities, the social pressures, and all those unspoken truths that emerge when two people navigate this rapidly evolving connection. Think of it as a compelling case study in relational ambiguity.
Relational ambiguity, that
Yeah.
space where things aren't clearly defined.
Exactly. That often undefined space where, the partners themselves and everyone around them kind of struggle to categorize the connection. It's a period that's just ripe with misinterpretations, unspoken expectations.
So, what does this all mean for us then? We're going to be observing these characters really closely. We'll analyze their words, their actions, even their silences. Try to understand the journey from, say, casual acquaintance to something far more profound. We'll be asking things like, how do external perceptions shape an internal connection? And when does true intimacy demand breaking down those walls we build around ourselves? Get ready to uncover some surprising layers here. Okay, so right from the opening scene, you have Travis entering. He immediately nicknames Abby Poulette. And the underlying tension of their relationship is just there, instantly. His
Yeah.
teasing, especially about her legs needing shaving, it quickly escalates. And you see Abby's clear frustration over campus rumors, how they're affecting her reputation. This immediate friction, it really sets the stage for that dynamic where what other people think deeply affects one partner more than the other.
And that's a key takeaway right there. The immediate contrast in how Abby and Travis view public perception. Abby is clearly bothered, really bothered, by this widespread belief that they're sleeping together or are a couple. She actually expresses this fear of being seen as, quote, the worst kind of idiot.
Wow.
Yeah. It highlights that common public versus private self-conflict in relationships, where an individual's concern for their social reputation clashes with their partner's indifference, or maybe even disregard for what others think.
Right. And Abby's outburst, where she explicitly says, no, Travis, I don't care, I do, when he just brushes off what people think. That speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It really does.
What does that reveal about their values? External validation versus internal feelings.
Well, that's a crucial observation. It highlights a fundamental tension. For Abby, reputation seems intrinsically tied to her self-worth. While Travis, he seems to prioritize autonomy, like freedom from what everyone else thinks.
Yeah.
Abby even lists their shared behaviors, like her staying at his apartment, him walking her to class, lunches every day.
All the things people would see.
Exactly. And she says, no one knows what to think of us, even when we explain it.
Mm.
This really illustrates the challenge of defining that ambiguous relationship when everyone else is trying to define it for you.
Mm.
And you can see how one partner might feel their identity is kind of being eroded by those outside narratives.
Okay, but then what happens next really complicates things. After Abby's passionate plea, basically saying they need to stop seeing each other for a bit, Travis has this visible shift. He takes her bag, looks genuinely moved, and declares, I'll take care of all this, okay, and it's going to change. I don't want people to speak ill of you because of me.
Mm-hmm.
That suggests something deeper, right? A
Yeah.
protective side under that carefree exterior, like a sudden recognition of her vulnerability.
Absolutely. That shift where Travis suddenly takes responsibility, that's a critical turning point. It shows he does have this capacity for protective intimacy, even if his methods are, well, still unconventional.
Ah. Yeah.
And this sets the stage for his next move.
Which is his rather unique redemption plan. Dinner and a night out at a club, the Red Door. And Abby is quite understandably skeptical. She's like, how will being seen together even more actually help?
Right.
Travis's logic. He thinks his own behavior, being drunk in a room full of minimally dressed girls, will somehow make it clear they're not a couple.
It's an interesting strategy.
It's almost comical in its counterintuitiveness, isn't it? Like, let me dive headfirst into the very rumors we want to dispel.
Indeed.
Yeah?
It really highlights how often our attempts to control what others think can kind of backfire.
Yeah.
Especially when we haven't first understood the underlying emotional needs of the people involved.
Good point.
But the night also offers these moments of unexpected intimacy. There's this discussion around Abby's supposedly impeccable driver's license.
Oh, yeah.
And it leads to this quiet, trusting revelation. Abby admits to Travis that she and her friend America use fake licenses
Mm-hmm.
and that you have to find competent people to make them look real. It's a shared secret.
Mm-hmm.
A vulnerable disclosures builds a different kind of bond, through this sort of illicit trust.
Then you get the scene at the Red Door Club itself. This voluptuous platinum blonde approaches Travis,
Mm.
and he makes this very public, almost performative gesture. He orders beers. She reaches for one.
And he takes it back.
Right. Takes it back, gives it to Abby instead. And his words are key.
Mm.
That's not for you. And then turning to Abby, paying for a beer for a girl in a bar, that's not my style. It's different.
Ooh.
It's a very public line in the sand.
This is absolutely a crucial turning point because it's Travis explicitly redefining the boundaries, both for himself maybe and definitely for public consumption.
Yeah.
And then he clarifies his feelings, directly addressing Abby's earlier comment about him being a debaucher. He says he did want to sleep with her initially, but now he sees her as better than that. He goes even further, saying, I don't know any guys who are good enough for you. This moment is such a powerful illustration of how vulnerability, even when it's delivered maybe imperfectly,
Definitely imperfect.
right, it can still redefine perceived intentions and foster a deeper emotional connection. It moves the relationship beyond just that initial attraction towards genuine respect. It highlights how vital explicit communication is in navigating that ambiguity.
And Abby's reaction. First satisfaction, then appreciation, real emotion. It's palpable. You can tell his words just resonated profoundly. It feels like a significant shift in how she sees him. But then, as the night progresses, they're dancing. Travis's closeness starts to ignite these unexpected feelings in Abby, but his kiss on her neck, it immediately triggers anger. Her sharp retort, I'll never drink enough to let you do what you want on your couch. It shows that despite his reassurances earlier, that deep-seated fear of being just another conquest is still right there.
Her reaction, even after he tried to reassure her, it just underscores the profound impact of, past experiences and maybe societal narratives on relational trust. It suggests that while words, those explicit verbal reassurances, are crucial.
They're not always enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They might not immediately overcome those deeply ingrained feels of being devalued or objectified. It reveals that complex interplay between words and long-held anxieties when it comes to intimacy.
And this disconnect leads to another heated moment.
Travis declares to this other woman, Megan, she's not my girlfriend. And then he proceeds to engage in this overtly sexual dancing with Megan, like right in front of everyone.
Drawing all the attention.
Yeah. You can interpret that as maybe a frustrated protest behavior, or maybe him trying to externalize his own internal conflict about it all.
Okay, so this is when Ethan, another guy, approaches Abby. Her flirtation with him, maybe fueled by anger, maybe alcohol, she says something like, you can try it later, is very quickly interrupted by Travis.
Of course.
And what's truly fascinating is how Travis responds here.
Travis's intervention with Ethan is, well, it's aggressive and undeniably possessive.
Yeah.
He confronts Ethan.
Yeah.
And then he drops his bombshell. Ethan was apparently arrested last year for sexual assault.
Oh, okay.
It's a strong protective act. But then Abby, in this absolute fit of rage, retaliates. She implies Travis is a rapist, screaming, so you have something in common then.
Ouch. That's harsh.
It's incredibly harsh. This escalation just reveals the raw intensity of their dynamic. It's almost a classic example of how these emotionally charged conflicts can trigger deeply hurtful, often irrational reactions, where past resentments just get weaponized.
So then the parking lot argument, it's a total roller coaster. Travis is furious, obviously. But then he offers this surprisingly raw, vulnerable apology. He says, I was drunk, you are beautiful, and damn, you smell good when you sweat. I kissed you. My apologies. Get over it.
It's chaotic, isn't it?
Totally chaotic, but undeniably honest in a strange way, like admitting attraction and remorse all jumbled together.
And Abby's response is fascinating. An immediate shift from anger to this unexpected delight. You find me beautiful.
Right, after everything.
It just highlights her underlying need for validation, for affection, and how even a clumsily delivered compliment can sometimes break through all that defensiveness. Travis, clearly exasperated but also affectionate, calls her a troublemaker. But then he puts his arm around her neck, admitting, you drive me crazy, but you know that too, right? It sort of reflects this complex attachment style, maybe, where conflict actually acts as a catalyst for intimacy rather than driving them apart.
Interesting.
Travis's behavior, though it seems aggressive, it might be an indirect protest behavior, signaling his deeper commitment in a way. A pattern you sometimes see when direct communication of needs is difficult. It signifies this grudging but undeniable acceptance of their unique, often turbulent bond.
So back at the apartment, Abby finds Travis has left clothes out for her after her shower, a small gesture. She describes feeling this irresistible need to kiss him, but she resists because of the alcohol, the raging hormones. It's a moment of real internal conflict, a clear sign that the boundaries she thought she had, well, they're dissolving.
And later, Abby makes this really vulnerable request. She just says, that, indicating she wants to cuddle.
Just that, yeah.
Travis initially misinterprets it, thinks it's sexual, but then he tenderly holds her. He calls her the most disconcerting girl I know. And tells her, you don't need an excuse, Boulette. It's whenever you want.
Wow.
That is such a profound moment of emotional intimacy, of acceptance. It shows how the breakdown of those explicit boundaries can sometimes lead to a more authentic, unspoken understanding of needs and desires, moving past performance into genuine comfort.
Then the next morning, Abby wakes up, still entwined with Travis, and she reflects, the boundaries were no longer clear at all, and it was my fault. This internal monologue brings us to a crucial point about personal agency in relationships, the idea that we actively participate in how boundaries shift, even if it's unintentional.
Absolutely. And this moment really sets the stage perfectly for Shepley's insightful conversation with Abby. He warns her. He says Travis will do something stupid to piss you off, which seems likely.
Probably, yeah.
But then he reveals this crucial truth. He says, it's rare for him to let someone get close to him, and for some reason, I don't know, he's let you into that circle.
Okay.
But you'll have to overcome his demons. That's the only way he'll know if you're ready to cross the wall.
Cross the wall, that's the core metaphor, isn't it?
It really is. Crossing a wall speaks to navigating a partner's past traumas or their deeply ingrained defenses. It acknowledges that true connection often requires facing uncomfortable truths and demonstrating unwavering commitment, especially when faced with their deepest fears.
And the segment ends with these small, grounding details. Abby's oatmeal with chocolate syrup.
The everyday stuff.
And the casual mention of birthdays, including Travis's being on April Fool's Day. It shows how their intense connection, despite all the drama, is now just woven into the fabric of their daily lives. It's becoming normalized, integrated.
So what truly stands out here, I think, is how this deep dive into a narrative really illuminates the messy, unpredictable path intimacy takes. We've seen how external pressures and internal struggles can both complicate and solidify a relationship.
Yeah, it's not straightforward.
Not at all. The constant push-pull, the verbal sparring, and then those unexpected tender moments, they all play a part. Ultimately, this narrative underscores a fundamental truth about evolving intimacy. True connection often emerges from navigating conflict and vulnerability. It challenges both our internal biases and those external perceptions. It's really in those push-pull dynamics that genuine relational strength seems to be forged.
That really makes you think. And it raises an important question for you listening. In your own life, how much of a relationship's definition comes from within, from the people actually involved, and how much is shaped by how others see it? And maybe at what point does not caring what people think become a disservice to the person you're with, or even to the integrity of the relationship itself?
That's a great question. And also, think about those walls Shepley mentioned. What does crossing the wall truly mean in a relationship, maybe beyond just overcoming arguments? And what inner demons, so to speak, might one need to acknowledge or perhaps help a partner overcome to truly connect on that profound level?
Definitely something for you to consider as you navigate your own connections. Join us next time for another deep dive.